For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Venezuela's right-wing opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez says his campaign has the proof it needs to show he won the country's election. Socialist President Nicolas Maduro was declared the winner Monday, giving him a third term in office. But Gonzalez and opposition leader Maria Machado told reporters they've obtained more than 70% of tally sheets from Sunday's election, and they show Gonzalez with more than double Maduro's votes. Thousands of their supporters have been protesting the results. Venezuela's election board declared Maduro the winner Monday with 80% of precincts counted, giving him 51% of the vote to Gonzalez, who garnered 44%, it said. The U.S.-based National Lawyers Guild called the election fair and transparent. It had a delegation of 5 election observers who it said visited polling sites. NLG President Suzanne Attlee said in a statement Sunday's elections were, quote, not only fair and transparent, but also represented an example of popular civic participation, she said. She called it a triumph for the Venezuelan people, quote, especially considering the level of U.S. interference and attempted sabotage of the democratic process, particularly through sanctions and coercive economic measures aimed at producing regime change in Venezuela, she said. The NLG noted its delegation shared notes and information with 910 election observers present in Venezuela from 95 countries and other groups, including the Carter Center, the United Nations, the African Union, and the Latin American Council of Electoral Experts. President Joe Biden said extremism has undermined public confidence in the U.S. Supreme Court as he called on Congress to quickly establish term limits and an enforceable ethics code for the High Court's 9 justices Monday. He also called on lawmakers to ratify a constitutional amendment limiting presidential immunity. He made the comments while commemorating the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act in Texas. Christopher Martinez reports.
Recent months have seen ethics scandals around Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, and a series of 6-3 rulings to end abortion rights, invalidate affirmative action, overturn gun control laws, undermine federal regulations, and grant former presidents immunity from prosecution for crimes they committed in office. President Joe Biden announced his new plan.
First, I'm calling for a constitutional amendment called No One is Above the Law Amendment. It holds, and I mean this sincerely, it holds that there's no immunity for crimes former president committed while in office. We're a nation of laws, not kings and dictators.
The other 2 parts of Biden's plan involve proposed legislation. Justices would serve 18-year terms, with presidents appointing a justice every 2 years. The final part of Biden's plan addresses recent ethics controversies about large gifts to Justice Clarence Thomas and political activism by Justice Samuel Alito's family.
Justice would be required to disclose gifts, refrain from public political activity, recuse themselves in cases in which they or their spouses have a financial or other conflict of interest.
Over in the Senate, Republican Minority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky blasted Biden's plan.
The left wages daily warfare against the justices.
I'm Christopher Martinez.
Authorities say the White, Illinois sheriff's deputy charged with murder in the shooting death of a black woman, Sonia Massey, was kicked out of the Army for the first of 2 drunk driving convictions in which he had a weapon in his vehicle. Law enforcement experts say Sean Grayson's convictions should have raised questions when he was hired in law enforcement, but he managed to work in 6 different law enforcement agencies since 2020. Grayson has pled not guilty to first-degree murder in Massey's July 6th death. The Springfield, Illinois community rallied at a public meeting with the police chief last night, blasting that Grayson was ever hired.
We are hiring officers who shouldn't even be given the right to wear that badge.
I don't understand how you hire a volcano and don't expect for it to erupt.
The chief apologized to the community for the killing. Protests took place across the nation over the weekend Sunday, from New York to Chicago to Los Angeles, calling it a national day of mourning. The top 2 U.S. defense leaders spoke with their Israeli counterparts today, working to de-escalate tensions in the region in the wake of a strike on a Druze community in Israel's occupied Golan Heights. General C.Q. Brown Jr. and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with their counterparts and cautioned Israel about escalations with Hezbollah as Israel weighs its response to a supposed rocket attack from Lebanon over the weekend that killed 12 Druze children. Hezbollah denies responsibility for the strike. Israeli strikes killed 2 people Monday in southern Lebanon, one of them a Syrian. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the site of the rocket attack in Golan Heights Monday. He was met by protests by some of the Arab Druze community. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.